ngikhumbulile like namhlanje siya rock cause being heard but I'm back.
Oh my god. Hi guys and welcome back to my channel. My name is Asaliswa Femi, but on this channel I go by Precious Femi. Like, where have I been? Me saying that intro is so weird and it's so awkward because I haven't said it in a long time, and I've been getting a lot of, "Hey, but OP, what happened to your YouTube channel? What are you doing? When are you coming back?" And guys, it's been a journey. Like, it's been a lot. A lot has happened from the last time I posted on YouTube. But this is a live update video where I'll be telling you guys every single tea that you need to know of where I've been. I hope it's going to be interesting. Grab your glasses, grab your tea, grab any bev because we're about to spill the tea, okay? So while I'm doing this live update video, a girl chit chat, I'll also be doing my makeup, and this is like a day-to-day makeup, like your simple girl makeup that you can rock literally any day. It's not too heavy, it is the most simplest, and I will be listing the products that I'm using here on the description box below, so stay tuned, my babes. So where have I been? Up first, I'll be using this Island Tribe SPF 50 sunscreen as my primer. So I'm gonna be using this girl just as much to keep my skin moisturized. So I, like, when I say to you, I've been getting a lot of OP. When are you coming back? What did YouTube do to you for you to just leave? Like, what's going on with your life? And to be honest, guys, I don't have like a valid reason on why I left YouTube and why I haven't been posting. But one thing I'll say to you guys, I think it was a very much needed break. Although it was a very long one, it was a very long break, but it was so needed. So where have I been? On the last video that I posted, it was a sit down video, like talking all things friendship, and at the time I was in Cape Town, and at that time I had already like had this dream of moving or relocating rather from Cape Town to a different city to just explore, and that's when everything like changed for me, because I did not sleep on that dream. I actually like took it by the bull's horn, okay? Like, Ndienda Mover, a girl is no longer a Cape Townian, okay? I relocated to Johannesburg beginning of 2023, and it was for school purposes. For those that do not know, I am in the film industry, and film is mostly dominant in Johannesburg. So I was just like, you know what? I've been in so many movies, but as background, as this and that. Now I want to switch it up. I want to be like your leading lady. I want to be the leading lady. I want to be the one that is like fully on there. So I spoke to my parents, and I remember it was like a very hard decision. But one thing about my parents, God bless their beautiful hearts, they allowed me to relocate. And yeah, I just like started a whole new life and a whole new journey in a foreign city. I've never been to Johannesburg alone. Let's start there. I was so anxious, I was so scared, and I want to say that's me relocating really contributed on me being gone for this long on YouTube, because remember, moving into a different city, I personally wanted to fully explore the city. I didn't want to put my life out there, whereas in Disafika, I didn't want to out on YouTube, of which I feel like I should have, but at the same time, I really am happy with the decision that I took because there's a lot that happens in Johannesburg, and I'm fairly new and you're really here, like I know no one. Family that is here is busy with their own things and dize apha ngesikolo. So for me, I just wanted on what I came here to do first before I could jump into social media and so fast forward, I settled in, I got my apartment. A girl has their own apartment. I got my apartment and then I got eskolweni, and I'm not gonna lie, coming to Joburg for school was the best decision ever. Like I learned so much, so much. Uh, with like within the industry, I think first 2 months of being here around April, I already shot something with Bomb Production. Go watch Arian Josie, okay? You'll see a girl there. It was just like a little token from our deans at school to say, okay, you guys are here, you guys are new. This is what you can expect at the school, this is what you can expect in the real world, and it was really nice. I'm not gonna lie, shooting with Bomb, it was so cool. Like Bomb is one of the biggest productions in Johannesburg. They're like so cool. So we did that, and I met new people, people from different cultures, different backgrounds, people that speak different languages. One thing about Joburg, Sana, I would say it's not too accommodative when it comes to languages, because there's so many people that like speak so many languages that I personally do not know, because I'm from Cape Town, and in Cape Town we mainly speak Xhosa, and they're not accommodative because bazothetha le language bafuna uyithetha. If it's Sutu, they're gonna speak Sutu. If it's Tswana, they're gonna speak Tswana, But I settled in. I made new friends. Some friends were amazing. Some friends were not so amazing. Um, and yeah, Iskolo was just too good. I'm not gonna lie, school was too good. Um, but things got a bit hectic and weird. I think third quarter of the year, yeah, because now people were like really showing their true colors, And if I have to say anything about friendships and girls in Johannesburg, they move weird, honey. Like these people move weird, okay? Like it's each to their own. What does that saying goes? How does it go? Each to their own, but something like that, because one minute you're friends with this person, the next minute they just doing weird things, like talking weird things behind your back. They were like chats about, oh, I lose Paramisile in they were chats about, oh no, she thinks she's all that. And I'm like, how, guys, where did this start? Like, what's happening, But I'm not gonna lie, that made me focus on my studies even more, even though it was hurting, because I'm just like, oh my goodness, some of these girls I really was fond of. I really liked them so much. But I was also like, thank God that I get to see their true colors, ukuthi ngabantu abanjani. So I would say from the second quarter, not the third quarter, from the second quarter for me, being in Joburg was just, it started being lonely. I started not enjoying it as much because most of my friends were friends from school, and with everything happening at school, I was just like, oh gosh, now this sucks, but I kept it moving. One person that was really supporting me and keeping me going was my TV lecturer. God bless that man's soul, okay? Like he was holding me down, and he kept on like reassuring me, but listen, you don't need people for you to feel like you are good enough, you know. I'm not gonna lie, that whole thing that was happening at school in class, it it actually weighed on me, you know. It really did. But fast forward November 2023, I meet other amazing girls, two girls, and we just hit it off, and our friendship was just so good, you know. And we never looked back, man. We never looked back. We did so many things together, like so many things together in a short space of time. And now my academic year was done, you know, 2023 December, and I had to go back to Cape Town for December holidays, you know. And I'm not thinking at this time, but hey, girl, go back to YouTube. I'm not, like, I'm just out there living life. And then 2024 came, and now my mom is asking me, girl, you done with school? Like, you done with school? Because my course was a 1 year course, and that was that. So she's like, it's in a plan. And I remember being so frustrated because I did not have like a solid plan. You know, like I didn't know what am I gonna do after. Where do I start to look for jobs? I haven't graduated yet because eskoleni they had told us, but it takes time to graduate after you're done. There's so many procedures that goes into graduation. Also, there's so many things that they have to evaluate, and I'm like, oh, what if dinga graduate at all, you know? Like, there's just so many things going on at once. But I'm like, mama, you know what, I've got a plan. Let me go back to Joburg, and we'll see when we get there. Yani, um, January, late January, I go back to Joburg. And the first week, I was not even thinking about work. I was not. But the second week, that's when everything started like daunting on me and like haunting me. But hey, my babes, what are you gonna do? So my foundation is the L'Oreal Paris Infallible 32-hour fresh wear. I love this babe so much, and it's in the shade 330. Yep. So yani, sorry, I then start to be like, okay, girl, you need to get your life in order, you know. Everyone is about to start going back to work. Uzoba depressed endlini, you know, and you do not want that, you know. I then started reaching out to my deans, my school deans. If you do not know the school that I went to Star Quality Creative Arts College. It also runs a management and acting agency. So they were the perfect people for me to like be like, yo guys, this is what I want. And yeah. So I remember this one day I text Miranda. And I'm like, hi Miranda, this is what's happening, you know, and I don't want to stay at home. I don't want to be home. I just want any type of job, you know. I want to be on set. If it's sweeping, mopping set, bringing in tea, like you name it, I'll do it, you know. But I just do not want to be at home. Like, I feel like I'll go crazy. And then there's like, I mean, Miranda's like, sure, let me speak to Zinzi, but also on your side, try and speak to her. Like, just send her the same message you sent me. Yani, I sent it to her, and Zinzi is like, my babes, I've got you. I got you, okay? um, Yani, she gets back to me within like 2 days, and she's like, there is a production that's about to start, like now, like soon. So, but you need to know it is an unpaid internship. I'm like, I'll bring it here. At this point, I am not a picky girl, you know. I'm not picky. I don't want to say, oh no, and ifuni unpaid. I mean, I don't have experience, and to get into this industry, you need to get experience, whether it's in front of the camera or behind the scenes. You need experience. Yeah, but so I did not want to be that person who's UTI. They've already said they're gonna offer me transport from set to my place. They obviously on set there's food. So in Rochelle, I don't have to worry about anything. Yani, I get a call from the coordinators, production coordinators, production. What am I saying? You get what I'm saying? I get a message and she's like, hey, I'm so and so. Could you send me your details? You know, you're about to start work. Can you start tomorrow? It was on the Thursday. Can you start tomorrow? I'm like, no, I already have plans for tomorrow. Can I start on Monday? She was like, no, no worries, no like stress. You can start on Monday, but I just wanted to see if you'd be able to start tomorrow. But it's not a train smash if you can. I'm like, perfect. I sent her the details she wanted. And yeah, Sunday, she texts me and she's like, okay, this is the call time. And oh, I have hair. Yeah. This is the call time and this is where you need to be and sharp. I get all the information. I'm gonna go in with my setting spray just for my foundation to set a bit, but I'm not gonna put a bit. I'm not gonna put a lot. And she says, we'll see you tomorrow. I'm like, say less, my babe. And I was so excited. I'm like, I'm gonna start my big girl job, guys. Like, for the first time, I'm gonna be working behind the scenes. Yani, first day comes, and I've never seen something like that. Working behind the scenes come with a lot of pressure, and I thought I was gonna hate it, but I loved it so much. I loved it to a point where I was just like, maybe I'm gonna reconsider my whole acting decision, you know? I'm not saying I don't want to be an actor, but I mean, it takes time for you to get there, you know? It takes time to get an agent, let alone getting a job. So I was just like, in the meantime, if this works out, I'll definitely go for this. And I remember the production went for 2 months, so which was February until March, early beginning of February until late March. I was a working girly, and we wrapped. And I remember after we wrapped, I went to Cape Town, and ndiqonda yazi yintoni, ndiyaqala to work like my big girl job like this after studying. So spoiling my family, rotten, doing this, doing that. And at the time it was Easter's. Yeah, but still, kwasandiswa akondo iti, girl, go back to YouTube. You have so much content that you can be putting out right now. Ayiko tu guys in Retroy. Like ayiko. Like I'm not even lying to you guys. And I came back to Joburg after Easter holidays, and it was quiet. Like it was quiet, and it was one of those depressing moments where I'm like, flip, back to this again. I'm not working. There's nothing promising. Did my camera not cut while I was shooting? But it's okay. I'll pick up from where I left off. I'm already done blending the concealer. I just need to put this. I'm not going to put blush today because, yeah, I don't need it. And go quiet, guys. So, dear Cape Town, I come back, still quiet, nothing. May, depressed. Like, I am depressed to the gods because there's nothing happening. June, my friends and I decided to go to Cape Town because there was an event happening at my church. Yeah, boss. So, okay, man, this would be a very great distraction. Masambe. Nancy Ambe. We come back after like 2 weeks. Still a community, baby, create content like nothing. And I'm just like sitting there. Something's in my eye. Oh yeah. I'm just like sitting there and I'm crying myself to sleep every other day because I don't have a job, you know. And I remember July, when I came back mid-July, I got an email that I am graduating. Like, finally a girl is a graduate. And I couldn't believe it because it's like after the hectic year I had, and now I'm like graduating. What do you mean? And I remember telling my mom, and she was so happy, and she was like, oh, Anam, you know how much we like praying for your success and for you to finally come back home with that degree. What. And you know, like the speech you get from home, or your funda in a different city, or your pangela in a different city, like they lecture you. So I got one of those lecturing, and for me, I had to live up to my words, but I'm not gonna disappoint my parents, like, at all. Fine. Graduation preparations were underway. Graduation came, my parents came, and it was all like a happy, jolly moment. And I remember after they left, August, because I graduated in August, it was September, and I was just sitting at home, you know, just sitting at home, not doing anything, not at home, but at my place in Joburg. I'm in Joburg. I'm not doing anything with my life, you know. I get a call from my mom, and she's like, baby girl, you are, so there's a production that is coming to shoot. It's an international production. It's coming to shoot in Cape Town, and it's gonna like shoot some scenes here at my workplace, and I told them about you, so please send me your CV. And I'm like, yeah, okay. Nyani, without any hesitation, sent my CV. And I remember they got back to me. They're like, oh, we like you, we like your resume, this is when you could be starting. Fine. Cut the story short, I go to Cape Town. As soon as I got to Cape Town, because I had DM'd this other director, and I told him, listen, I need work, okay? And he was like, okay, there's production starting, but in 3 weeks, I'll hit you up. I'm like, no problem. I'm already in Cape Town. To spend a week and a half, I have not started work, and I'm like, did these people just make me come to Cape Town for nothing, you know? Yani, finally, the following week, I get a text about you can be starting on this day, we're shooting here, whatever, sharp. My mom takes me to work on the first day, and I remember I had the most horrible first day ever. Like, the interaction I had at breakfast with a production manager. So I'm dishing breakfast with my mom because we were told by a location scouter that, oh no, go dish then, because the location scouter knows my mom, and I got the job through the location scouter. Sana, the lady was like, what are you doing here and who are you? I'm like, I'm politely, okay, hi ma'am, my name is Asana Safeni and I am part of the crew. Like, part of the crew in which department? But I'm like, why this behavior, girl? Like, it's so early, it's day one, it's shoot day one, calm down, you know. But I was just like, the vibes here are not vibing. And I remember my whole first day was horrible, like horrible. I remember we wrapped the first shoot day, like day one. I went home, I was so done. I was like to my mom, I don't think I'm going back there. I don't want to go back there. It's fine, I'll look for another job, but I don't want to go there. Like, if that's how you treat people just because you're in a higher position, no. And pity, oh, my mom was like, oh, okay, if that's how you feel, that's fine. And I'm like, I'm going back to Joburg. My mom was like, that's fine, like, go back to Joburg. I went back to Joburg mid-September. Pity, the job that I was supposed to start in 3 weeks, did they not give it to someone else? Like, I'm like, God, now, my darling, what is this? Like, how did we get here? Like, why is this happening, you know? I cried about it, I was over it, and I started going through my depressing mode again. Like, I was crying myself to sleep, I was not praying, you know, that moment where you like doubting God. I was going through all of that. Finally, it was September, October, November. My mom tells me, oh, November, I get another job offer to Cape Town, and I send my stuff. It's also an international production. I send my stuff sharp. November, I get no feedback. December, I'm like, okay, people are going on holiday. January, nothing. Okay, I'm in Cape Town in January. I'm like, I'm going back to Joburg. This is 2025. I'm like, I'm going back to Joburg. My mom was like, go back to Joburg, my daughter. I don't have any problem with you going back to Joburg. Yani, I come back to Joburg. I think a week of me being back in Joburg, that production that hit me up in November, they hit me up again. They're like, hey, would like to have you for an interview. Can you come to our office? I'm like, unfortunately, I'm in Johannesburg. Can we do a virtual meeting rather? They're like, not a problem. Set up a Zoom meeting the following day. You know, I rock up and I'm like, I know my story, okay? I know what I'm talking about, and what you guys are not going to do is not take this job away from me. That's how I sold the deal, and I had to go back to Cape Town. I started work, and it just felt like God being like, I just wanted to show you how good it can get. Just all you needed to do, and I was to just trust in me and in my timing. And that was the most beautiful workplace I've ever worked in. Like, from the crew to the actors, working with international crew, international actors. Not to say it was my first time working with international actors, but to the level that I was now at, because now I'm part of crew, you know, how things are done, you know, and my mind was just so broad. My eyes were wide open in this production, and I learned so much. Like, I started work from early February until late May. That's how long I worked, and that was my first time working so long. Okay, but with this time around, I was so busy. Like, I had no time to, even if I went out with my friends, like, I would just want to be in the moment because I would not see them for a very long time. Yeah, but so Nyani, I finished production, everything was done, everything was great, and I was like, I'm going back to Joburg. I go back to Joburg, and when I got you, I was like, okay, now I think it's time to really go back to YouTube, okay, because there's so much in this roller coaster of the journey that you're going through. There's so much that you can put out there, you know, that you can make content and people will relate to you. There's so many people that go through unemployment. There's so many people that can relate in the stories that you can tell from your personal experience, and I felt like that's what I was supposed to do, you know, and that's what I'm doing now, you know. So yeah, like everything was just like an up and down roller coaster. But now I'm back. Now I'm planning to rebrand, you know. I'm planning to shift my content into a different aspect, but it's not gonna totally change from what I usually do. But now it's gonna be more mature and more like relatable, you know. And yeah, man, I'm so excited to be back. I am so excited to be back here, and I don't know what to say. I really don't know what to say. But this is my everyday makeup look. I don't know how it looks on the camera, but I hope it's eating. On this mirror, it is eating. Clock that. Guys, I have this problem. Everything that I'm saying, I clock it. Okay? Clock it. But all jokes, I am so happy that I did this video. I am so excited to edit and put it out there for you guys. I missed you guys so much. Like, I missed filming so much. But we've come to the end of the video. I will see you guys onto my next one. Please do not forget to like, comment and subscribe. Share my channel to your friends, to your family that you think might find it very interesting and very informative. And until next time, bye.